This is Andrew Zimmern, and this is a selected chapter from my book, The Bizarre Truth, or How I Went Out the Door Mouth First and Came Back Shaking My Head. Experiencing food and sharing culture is what a traveler's life is all about, and exchanging our stories makes the world a more useful place. Viva Cuba! The recent thaw in Cuban-American relations coincided with my recent trip there last spring. Travel can be transformative. One person from one country, representing their own blend of culture and experience, meets another citizen of the world on their home turf. This is what makes what I do for a living such a powerful force for growth and change in the world. People often see me as the bug-eating guy, but I have only eaten bugs a handful of times in a few memorable minutes in hundreds of hours sprinkled across my television career. I see myself as creating a powerful voice for globalism and international understanding, for the idea that by sharing food we experience another culture in unique personal ways, by breaking bread with real people in truly local haunts, eating honest and authentic cuisine. You'll never get the full picture clean close to a hotel lobby. By focusing on our commonalities like our mutual love of food, we can really share life with people we just met in lands far away. We forget our differences and the matters of our daily life that can only lead to conflict and misunderstanding. Cross the first barrier, share a meal, and the next conversation can safely be had. Trust me on this. I spent a week in Chile last year. It wasn't until I shared a meal in a Chilean home that I finally got the real story about the struggles of dissidents, changes in national identity, and personal experience with both. Try learning that by shoving a microphone in someone's face. It has happened for me in China, Vietnam, France, and Italy, even Tennessee. It was here that a young woman confided her personal story in me. We sat quietly in a corner, and I listened, eating possum neck and dunking my cornbread in pot liquor from the greens. Just a Jew from New York and a mountain girl from rural Appalachia, trusting each other because we were sharing a meal. Look what happened when the Berlin Wall fell, or in 1971 when the U.S. State Department lifted the ban on travel to China, leading up to the presidential visit there in '73 that birthed the week that changed the world. A lot happened over dinner and dumplings, I can assure you. Mutual distrust with Russia and China, Vietnam, and other formerly closed worlds replaced by an advancing understanding and ongoing free exchange of ideas. Opportunity feeds relationships. I am of the mind that if it can happen with those countries, it can happen now with Cuba, a country 90 miles from our back door. And I believe that cultural and political osmosis begins with a meal. I went to Cuba with an open mind and an open heart. I spent time in Havana, lounged at the Nacional, stayed in Frank Sinatra's old room, prowled the music clubs, danced to the salsa beat, visited with world-famous artists, and strolled the ancient cobblestone streets of Vieja Havana. I saw for myself the beauty, inside and out, of this amazing country, and I believe more than ever that restrictions and barriers do nothing but foment misunderstanding and make life tougher on citizens of both our countries. We are all richer for a free-flowing exchange of ideas, and the people of Cuba feel the same way. I asked. We have a rare opportunity here to see a country on our doorstep redevelop in many ways, and the stagnating isolation of the last 50 years has been our loss. Canadians and Europeans, South Americans and Africans all travel safely to Cuba every day. They are the richer for it. We are the losers here. And I can proudly say we have a lot to offer Cuba. I ache to see the walls removed, not created. I believe travel is a game changer for remaking our world in a more positive way, and I can safely tell you that Cuba is a once-in-a-lifetime travel experience. The country isn't diluted or polluted by the corrosive aspects of culture that prevent our seeing what a people are really like or how they live. In some cases, Cuba is a paradise prison. 99% of Cubans can't get on a boat, even to go fishing. Beef is considered contraband, and markets are sparsely stocked despite many resources. However, the country is changing at breakneck speed, and the sooner you see it for yourself, the better. Once the palm curtain rises, the country is changed forever, for good and for bad. The doors to Cuba will open soon, and trust me, once they do, it will transform at a rapid rate. Look what happened in Eastern Europe. Estonia, for example, carried on in a style more like the Bronze
Sample complete. Ready to continue?